Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Betting Insights. I am your host, Timothy. Of course, I am joined by Sergio.
Welcome back, everybody.
Yes, welcome, Sergio. Go ahead, smash the like button. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel. As you know, we are discussing five different club competitions across Europe: Serie A, La Liga, Premier League, Eredivisie, and Bundesliga. We are discussing every game individually and giving out our picks and leans. Now, we will get to all picks and leans for the upcoming weekend in just a minute. But first, quick recap of last week. All picks and leans were actually great. Even the unders we took were a hit, and usually we hate taking unders when it's a low total, but it was an absolute smash. Best bets for me, swept, perfect 5-0. Sergio, you went 3-3. Solid, not great, but let's look to build off that, right?
Yeah. Try a little bit better this weekend.
All right. Now, let's get to all picks and leans for the upcoming weekend. We are trying to keep this as close to an hour, knowing that your time is very valuable. So let's not waste any more. Let's get started. Today we are starting with the Eredivisie. First game on the schedule, NEC hosting Fortuna. NEC wins set at 2.02. Fortuna wins set at 3.85. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, both teams have back-to-back wins, so should come in this game with confidence. But I'm gonna back the home team here. Actually, pretty easy for me. Fortuna has 5 straight road league losses, scoring just once in the process. Now, NEC not a great home team, winless in 5, but at least they have scored in every home game so far, and 3 of the last 5 home games were draws. So I just can't trust Fortuna going on the road. I'm gonna back NEC here. What are you doing, Sergio?
Yeah, and NEC they don't concede a lot of goals. So at home against Fortuna should be a little bit easier for them than the bigger teams. So I'm leaning towards NEC for a win definitely this weekend.
Also, we're in lockstep there, so we agree. Let's get to the next game. Utrecht hosting RKC. Utrecht wins set at 1.63. RKC wins set at 5.5. Line for total goals again 2.5. Now, Utrecht unbeaten in the last 8 overall, while RKC has 1 win in the last 5. Again, for me, I have to go with the home team here. RKC, another bad road team. They have won twice on the road, but the other 5 games they all lost and scored just in 1 game during those 5 losses. Also, the 2 wins were against PEC and Vitesse. Not great teams. Utrecht is a little bit better under the new coach, so I'm backing the home team here. What are you doing, Sergio?
Yes, Ron Jans has the things under control there now. He hasn't lost a match yet. So against RKC, I don't think that will happen also. So yeah, a win for Utrecht also with this one.
All right, we agree once more. Next game, Excelsior hosting Go Ahead Eagles. Excelsior wins set at 2.95. Go Ahead Eagles wins set at 2.4. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Now, Excelsior has failed to win in the last 8 league games, even blew a lead in the last week against Twente. While Go Ahead Eagles' form is also starting to dip, winless in 3 and 2 straight losses. I'm not sure I'm betting this game, but the play here is the over 2.5 goals. Both teams are scoring at a high clip, and defenses aren't that great. So I'm leaning towards the over 2.5 goals here. Sergio, what are you doing?
Actually, I'm leaning more towards. Go ahead. Excelsior. They started good, but now their form is starting to go down a little bit. I think that the teams around them already know how to play against them, and yeah, it's not working for them anymore. So and go ahead. Usually, the better team. They lost 2 in a row, so I'm actually thinking Go Ahead could win this one. I'm not betting this game, but if you were lean more towards Go Ahead.
Yeah, and you're correct on everything you said. But the thing about Excelsior is even when they lose, they do score goals. So that's why I like the over 2.5 goals here. But you're not wrong. Actually, you're correct on everything you said. All right, let's get to the next game. Next game, Heerenveen hosting Volendam. Heerenveen wins set at 1.37. Volendam wins set at 9. Line for total goals, 3.5. Now, the line tells you everything you need to know here. Volendam winless in 7 and 5 straight losses. This should be a win for Heerenveen. We shouldn't waste too many time here, right?
No, no, okay. Heerenveen lost the last weekend against PSV, but of course, every team they in the Eredivisie they played against, they won, of course, PSV. But Volendam, no, it's still not going for them. The whole team in disarray still. So no, it should be an easy win for Heerenveen at home. I think that will be their easiest game for the season.
Yeah, probably. And also Volendam playing on the road, so you absolutely can't back them. And actually, I like Heerenveen in this spot as one of my best bets for the weekend, but I'm gonna combine them with a two-team parlay, given that the odds are very low. I'm gonna give the second one later on. Let's get to the next game. Almere City hosting Vitesse. Almere City wins set at 2.45. Vitesse wins set at 2.9. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Now, Almere City started off the season looking like a team that was definitely going to get relegated. Then they pulled off a solid stretch, and now they look like the team that started off the season again. Um, yeah, Vitesse also not great, but they did pick up a much needed win last week, and they will look to build off that. I am leaning towards Vitesse here, but it's just a lean. It's hard to trust either team. But Almere City, 3 straight losses with just 1 goal scored. That's the reason I'm leaning towards Vitesse, but it's just a lean.
Yeah, but Almere City, they're still playing very good actually, and it's just that they don't have like always uh, the last passes aren't correct, or they miss too many chances. So yeah, and Vitesse, yeah, they won last weekend, but yeah, I'm still not convinced because they played against Heracles, also a bad team. I'm not betting this game, but I'm leaning more towards a draw actually.
Yeah, and you're correct on that. You shouldn't take too much from the win against Heracles, given that the fans were actually waiting on the players' bus demanding the coach to be fired. So don't take too much of the win from Vitesse last week. But listen, like I said, hard to trust either team here.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, next game, Sparta hosting Twente. Sparta wins set at 4.25. Twente wins set at 1.85. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Now, this is a very tough matchup, very interesting. Twente usually gets the better in the head-to-head matchup. Sparta has won 1 of the last 4 home games, while Twente has just 1 loss on the road. So, tough call here. I'm leaning towards Twente, but this is a tough matchup. What are you doing here, Sergio?
Yeah, Sparta usually at home. Okay, they lost against Ajax last weekend, but okay, Ajax is getting their old form again. But Sparta is still a very good team. Yeah, no, I'm actually leaning more towards Sparta to win this one at home against Twente. So no, for me it's Sparta.
Not a bad pick. Like I said, tough matchup. Sparta usually solid at home. The last couple of home games have not been great, so that's why I'm leaning towards Twente. But tough matchup. Obviously, not a best bet for me, Twente here. All right, let's get to the next game. Heracles hosting Feyenoord. Heracles wins set at 12.5. Feyenoord wins set at 1.25. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now we touched on Heracles earlier. We shouldn't waste time here. Feyenoord should win this game going away, right?
Yeah, Heracles fired their coach last weekend. So usually when there's a change, things improve a little bit. But no, they're not lucky that it's Feyenoord they need to play against next. So no, for me it's also a Feyenoord win. I think it should be an easy one also.
Yeah, correct on that. Let's get to the next game. Ajax hosting PEC. Ajax wins set at 1.28. PEC wins set at 11. Line for the total goals again, 3.5. Now, you also touched on Ajax earlier. They're starting to get their old form back, looking like a top team in the Eredivisie. Also, a great win against Athens in Europa League. So
Yes.
Ajax should get the win here. Peck, not a great team, especially on the road. Actually, Ajax, another one of my favorite bets. I'm gonna combine with another one, a two-team parlay. I'm gonna give that one later on. So, what are you doing here, Sergio? Obviously, Ajax should win this game.
Yeah, Ajax. I'm not betting this game. It should be easy one for Ajax. Also, they got their confidence back, and they're playing at home. And Pek Zwolle, of course, no, not a team that would cause any trouble for Ajax.
All right, we agreed there. Next game, actually the game of the week in the Eredivisie. AZ hosting PSV. AZ wins set at 4.2. PSV wins set at 1.85. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Now, PSV yet to drop points, and it's tough to fade them in this spot. Both teams were involved in midweek action, but PSV was able to rotate, rest some players, while AZ had to go on the road, play a tough game, which they also lost, also received a red card. So everything just points to PSV in this spot. Um, PSV also has won the last two at AZ. Sergio, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm actually a little disappointed in AZ because I really expected more from them also during the week. But yeah, it doesn't seem like they will stop PSV this weekend. I don't know. They have one. Looks like they have only one player that can score, and yeah, if Pavlidis doesn't get any chances, they won't score a goal. I think so. No, it's just PSV again, unless something really crazy happens. But yeah, AZ is not up for the task to stop PSV this weekend.
Yeah, we agree there. All right, that wraps up the Eredivisie. Let's get to the Premier League. First game, Nottingham Forest hosting Tottenham. Nottingham Forest wins set at 4.7. Tottenham wins set at 1.77. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Tottenham finally got a win again, and the perfect opponent to build off that is Forest, who is winless in 5 and lost 4 of 5. Tottenham likes to attack no matter what. They're just very offensive minded. So I like the over 2.5 goals here. I'm expecting Tottenham to win the game. What are you doing here, Sergio?
Yeah, over 2.5, I think is the best choice for this game. Yeah, Tottenham needs this win against Forest. They really need the 3 points, and it has to. They have to get them against Forest because the upcoming games are a little bit more difficult. So yes, it's a Tottenham win.
All right, we agree there. Next game, Newcastle United hosting Fulham. Newcastle wins set at 1.87. Fulham wins set at 4.3. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Newcastle has not been great the last couple of games. Also, Champions League match, very much disappointing, giving up the lead against AC Milan. Now, Fulham looks to be one of the informed teams in the Premier League, especially in terms of scoring goals. They scored a lot of goals in the last game. But Newcastle is very good at home. So I don't want to fade Newcastle, but I really lean towards Fulham in this spot, picking up the upset, really, and taking advantage of Newcastle coming off a disappointing loss in the Champions League. What are you doing here, Sergio?
I don't know. I think for Fulham, 2 wins in a row, it's the maximum for them. I have a feeling. And the Newcastle losing 3 in a row. Yeah, I think it will be. Yeah, Fulham has to like play their upper best to deny a Newcastle a win. I don't think Newcastle will lose 4 in a row. No, for me, it's a Newcastle win.
Yeah, especially given that Newcastle is playing at home, like I said, very good home team. But when teams get knocked out of European competition, it's usually a letdown spot, confidence very low. So that's a reason I'm kind of leaning towards Fulham, but obviously not a best bet. All right, let's get to the next game. Manchester City hosting Crystal Palace. Manchester City wins set at 1.21. Palace wins set at 17. Line for total goal set at 3.5. This is also not an interesting game. We shouldn't take too long. Sergio, thoughts?
Yeah, no, City, of course, they want to forget what happened last weekend. So no, it should be a easy City win at home.
Now, last weekend, of course, they played a bad Luton opponent, and they didn't escape with a win, but of course, they went down and were able to come back and win the game. So, of course, they should build off that. I can't see Crystal Palace getting anything out of this game. We agree there. All right, let's get to the next game. Bournemouth hosting Luton. Bournemouth wins set at 1.5. Luton wins set at 7. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Now, Bournemouth in excellent form, while Luton has lost 4 of 5. Bournemouth also a huge upset in upsetting Manchester United in the last game. I believe they will continue their form here. What are you doing, Sergio?
Yeah, Luton just 9 points. Yeah, no, Bournemouth in good form. Yeah, but it does concerns me that they haven't lost a game in the last 5, I think. So yeah, so Bournemouth. Yeah, but against Luton, I think it's the perfect opponent, and they're playing at home, so that should help. Yeah, it's Bournemouth. Yeah, it should be an easy one for Bournemouth actually.
Yeah, and Luton just a very bad road team. All right, next game, Chelsea hosting Sheffield United. Chelsea wins set at 1.27. Sheffield wins set at 13. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Listen, Chelsea's playing at home. I'm expecting them to win. I won't be betting this game because I have a hard time trusting Chelsea, but Sheffield just the worst team in the league. So Chelsea should get the win here, but I just hate backing Chelsea in any way, shape, or form. What are you doing here, Sergio?
Yeah, I trust Chelsea a little bit more against Sheffield, because if they drop points against Sheffield, I think the coach will be in a big trouble. But no, it's maybe a Chelsea win, both teams to score. Or over 3.5, maybe, but yeah, but I'm not betting this game. But those are the two ways you can also go.
Or
Um,
you could take Chelsea win and Chelsea over 1.5 goals. That may be a better play for this game.
Also, yes.
Yeah, Sheffield might not get on the score sheet. All right, let's get to the next game. Burnley hosting Everton. Burnley wins set at 3.75. Everton wins set at 2.14. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Now, Everton, one loss in the last 5 games, three straight wins, and three straight clean sheets. That should continue here against Burnley, who has won 1 of 5. Burnley is just awful. It's hard to trust them, even at home. Everton, excellent form after the loss against United. They escaped the relegation zone and again, or else they moved out of the relegation zone, and they want to keep it that way. What are you doing here, Sergio?
Yeah, no, for me it's Everton. This weekend actually it's my first log of the weekend. Everton, of course, like you said, they are in better form right now, and Burnley, still not. It's still not going for them. The one off against Sheffield, was it? They won, but
Yeah, they smashed and they
yeah,
smashed Sheffield 5-0, but
yeah.
that was about all.
No. For me, it's a Everton win. Everton my first love of the weekend.
All right. Not a bad bet. Let's get to the next game. West Ham hosting Wolves. West Ham win set at 2.17. Wolves set at 3.5. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Now, West Ham was involved in midweek action, but it was not a hard-fought game. They are also very good at home and host the Wolves team that has lost 3 straight road games and has won one in the last 5. So West Ham winning, actually one of my favorite bets for this week, one of my best bets. What are you doing here, Sergio?
Just like you said it, yeah. West Ham is my second log of the
All
week.
right.
Yeah. West Ham. I agree with you. I really enjoyed their game during the week. They were playing very good. Looked like they were flying. So yeah, no, it's for me it's a West Ham win. Playing at home against Wolverhampton. No, I'm leaning towards West Ham for a win.
All right, we agree there. Let's get to the next game. Brentford hosting Villa. Brentford wins set at 3.4. Villa wins set at 2.18. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Villa was able to rotate in midweek, already being qualified. And before that, of course, beat City and Arsenal. So excellent form, while Brentford has lost 4 of 5. Villa's away form is very different than their home form. But Brentford lost last week to Sheffield, literally the worst team in the league. So I have a hard time seeing them beating Villa here. Also, like I said, Villa rested. So I'm leaning towards Villa here. Villa should get the win, I believe. What are you doing, Sergio?
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, not much to add. Brentford at home should be difficult. And Villa, yeah, 2 wins in a row against the top teams. So then you get the feeling that
That a
they'll be a
letdown
little
spot
bit
is
off
coming. Yeah,
guard. They'll be a
yeah,
little
they
bit
dropped their
off
guard a
guard.
bit.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but under normal circumstances, it's a Villa win. I would agree with that. It's a Villa win.
Yeah, the two great wins against City and Arsenal, and then after that you feel like a letdown spot is coming because everybody might be jumping on Villa and you just see them laying an egg. But like I said, the thing I like is that they rested their playings during midweek, so they will be well rested. Unai Emery, of course, a great coach, so he should have his players ready. But listen, might be a letdown spot for Villa. All right. Let's get to the next game. Arsenal hosting Brighton. Arsenal wins set at 1.49. Brighton wins set at 7. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Brighton is very inconsistent, to say the least. Sometimes they're solid, but Arsenal wants to bounce back after last weekend loss, and they should here. They are playing at home. This is another one of my favorite bets. I'm going to combine in the two-team parlay. Sergio, what are you doing here?
Arsenal played during the week, but yeah, they were playing with a lot of players that are not usually starting. So their starting 11 well rested. So playing a game at home against Brighton should be easy for Arsenal in those conditions. So yeah, it's an easy Arsenal win for me.
Yeah, we agree there. Let's get to the next game. Liverpool hosting Manchester United. Liverpool wins set at 1.36. United wins set at 9. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, Liverpool also rotated their players during midweek, while United, they had to fight and claw against Bayern Munich, but of course, they weren't able to get anything. That's just the trend of Manchester United. They can't even hang their head on the fact that they have success against Liverpool in recent matchups. The last time United beat Liverpool at Anfield was back in 2016. I can't see that changing here. What are you doing, Sergio?
For Erik ten Hag, this is actually his last chance. I have no doubt about that. Um,
I disagree there. I disagree there because if
mm,
if you're gonna fire him after this game, why not just fire him after last weekend's matchup? Because you know you're not winning against Bayern, you know you're not winning this game, so why wait until after this game?
yeah, because Liverpool is actually, the arch enemy. So yeah, so I think it would be more painful against Liverpool than the other ones, and against Bayern, yeah, they already saw that coming. But against Liverpool in the Premier League, they have actually just one thing to play for now. That's like a Champions League spot. Championship, yeah, they don't even have to think about that. So I feel if he loses this one, his head is on the chops. Sure.
Might be. But listen, man, the players are very much underperforming. And listen, a lot of that has to do with him. He's picking the players, but a lot of those players are just underperforming. Rashford being one of them, just can't seem to find the net. So Listen, man, it's tough. He might lose his job, but I'm not sure they find a better replacement.
Mm.
All right, that wraps up the Premier League. Let's get to the Bundesliga. First game, Borussia Mönchengladbach hosting Werder Bremen. Gladbach wins set at 1.95. Bremen wins set at 3.65. Line for the total goal set at 3.5. Now, Gladbach coming off somewhat an embarrassing result, losing to Union. But listen, if you want to bounce back, going home, hosting a team that is winless on the road is the perfect opponent. Also, the last time Bremen won at Gladbach in the league was in 2010. So Gladbach should at least pick up a draw here, probably a win. What are you doing, Sergio?
A Friday game against Werder Bremen, not one of the best teams, but also yeah, really decent. So I'm leaning more towards a draw, especially because it's a Friday. You know how I don't like Friday games, but this one, yeah, they lost last weekend, so Gladbach, I think they'll be at their best. Yeah, but still, no, I'm leaning towards a draw.
All right, let's get to the next game. Darmstadt hosting Wolfsburg. Darmstadt wins set at 3.15. Wolfsburg wins set at 2.23. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Now, Wolfsburg has lost 4 of 5, but they visit the team that is winless in 7 and also winless in 4 at home. Wolfsburg 7 straight road losses, so it's hard to trust them going on the road here, but it's even harder to trust Darmstadt at home, just the worst team in the league. I'm leaning towards Wolfsburg here. What are you doing, Sergio?
Wolfsburg is my third lock of the weekend. Yeah, Wolfsburg, like you said, it's a but away game against Darmstadt. Yeah, if they were gonna win one this season, it should be the one against Darmstadt. So yeah, I'm Wolfsburg, my third lock of the weekend. I'm really seeing Wolfsburg winning this game, and all that 2.25 really interesting. So yeah, I'm
Yeah, very good value back in Wolfsburg. You know, I thought about putting Wolfsburg as one of my best bets for the weekend. I'm like, listen, 7 straight road losses, cause for concern. But if you're gonna win a road game, it has to be against Darmstadt, especially after the last performance. So not a bad bet there.
yes, of course.
All right, let's get to the next game. Augsburg hosting Dortmund. Augsburg wins set at 3.4. Dortmund wins set at 2. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Little bit of a rough stretch for Dortmund, but they picked up a good result against PSG in midweek, and they played well. And they should build off that. Augsburg only 1 loss at home, but still I got Dortmund as one of my best bets this weekend. Augsburg played well after hiring their new coach, but that looks to be done. As we saw last week, they only had 1 shot on target against lowly Bremen, so Dortmund should take advantage here of Augsburg, and they should win this game. What are you doing, Sergio?
Dortmund, my fourth lock of the weekend, of
All
course.
right.
Yeah, you can't let this one slide. Also, it's a Dortmund not winning was like three or something or 4 in a row. So yeah, no, I'm leaning towards Dortmund for a win. I have them as my fourth lock. So.
All right. Not a bad bet. Like I said, Dortmund also one of my best bets. Let's get to the next game. Bochum hosting Union. Bochum wins set at 2.7. Union wins also set at 2.7. So pick them here. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Now Bochum solid of late. Only 1 loss in the last 6 games, but just 1 home win all season. Union finally won a game again, a much needed win, and they gave Real Madrid a little bit of a scare, let's call it that, in the Champions League. So it looks like they are building confidence and heading in the right direction. So I'm leaning towards Union here. What are you doing, Sergio?
Yeah, I'm actually leaning more towards a draw here. Union, of course, last weekend did impressive win against Gladbach and a great performance against Real. But they played during the week, so yeah, no. Bochum, I don't see them winning, but a draw, it's most likely. So I'm leaning more towards a draw.
Yeah, well, if you're not seeing Bochum winning this game, you might want to take a double chance on Union. So that might be a very safe play. All right, let's get to the next game. Mainz hosting Heidenheim. Mainz wins set at 1.7. Heidenheim wins set at 4.9. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. One of my best bets this weekend. Mainz wins. Mainz just one home win in the last five, but Heidenheim winless on the road. Mainz played very well on the road against Köln last week and actually deserved to win. Expected goals were over two. They created a lot of chances. And listen, they also have a new coach. They played well under their new coach. So I'm backing Mainz here in a win as one of my best bets for the weekend. What are you doing here, Sergio?
Yeah, this is actually not a really interesting game for me. Mine's for a win. Yes, I agree with that. But yeah, no, I don't. I'm not that convinced. Yeah, it doesn't feel great this game. So no, for me, it's a Mainz win, but yeah, not really confident.
Yeah, for me, it's not so much confidence in Mainz as in fading Heidenheim, giving their poor road results. All right, let's get to the next game. Leipzig hosting Hoffenheim. Leipzig wins set at 1.47. Hoffenheim wins set at 6.25. Line for the total goal set at 3.5. Now, Hoffenheim picked up a much needed win last time out, but that was their first win in the last six and will have a tough time here making it back-to-back wins. Leipzig had a rough stretch, but now five straight home wins, and they would want to make it six here. What are you doing, Sergio?
Uh, Easy win for Leipzig. Me against Hoffenheim. They are in a lot better form now, and Hoffenheim not so much. Not so much a win against Bochum. Yeah, I don't know if we should really count that as a good performance, but it's still a win. But against Leipzig will be a different game. So no, it's a Leipzig win for me.
All right, let's get to the next game. Freiburg hosting Keulen. Freiburg wins set at 1.86. Keulen wins set at 4.2. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Now, Freiburg lost in midweek against West Ham. Like we said earlier, West Ham, a very good home team. That was also their first loss in the last five. And going home, will be looking to bounce back against a Keulen team that has scored one goal in the last three games. So, Freiburg, one of my best bets for this weekend. Sergio, what are you doing here?
Yeah, Freiburg definitely. I'm not betting this game, but yeah, but still, if it should be a win for Freiburg. I don't think it will be an easy one because they played during the week also, but yeah, but yeah still leaning towards them.
All right, let's get to the next game. Bayer Leverkusen hosting Frankfurt. Bayern Leverkusen wins set at 1.37. Frankfurt wins set at 8. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, Leverkusen kind of back-to-back draws in the league. Looked like they were slipping a bit, but they played two tough opponents in Dortmund and Stuttgart. Frankfurt just coming off an absolute upset, smashing Bayern in a 5-1. So can they make it two in a row against the top two teams in the league here, Sergio?
Yeah, smashing Bayern and losing against Aberdeen. but, but okay, yeah, it was an away game, yeah, but yeah, but still, Leverkusen still didn't lose yet, but it won't be against Frankfurt, I'm sure. I think it will be a win again for Leverkusen.
Yeah, they're playing at home, and like you said, Frankfurt lost against Aberdeen, so that speaks a bit to their road performance and how they play on the road. So Leverkusen should get the win here, playing at home, coming off back-to-back draws. So really want a challenge for the title here. All right, let's get to the next game. Bayern Munich hosting Stuttgart. Bayern Munich wins set at 1.45. Stuttgart wins set at 6.75. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, if you look at the standings, these teams are very close to each other. And also in terms of play, Stuttgart, a very, very good team, and Bayern has been kind of failing of late, not very convincing in the last 3 to 4 games. So I think Stuttgart is being disrespected here, being such a heavy underdog, 6.75. Every week, I like to pick an upset. This is going to be my upset of the week. Stuttgart wins against Bayern. Just something to sprinkle on. Obviously, not a best bet, but just sprinkle something on Stuttgart. What are you doing here, Sergio?
Yeah, I agree with you. Stuttgart last weekend against Leverkusen, they were also very good. So Bayern, they played during the week against United. I don't know how much energy that cost them, but
They were
this
they weren't very convincing against Manchester United.
yeah also not. Oh, also not. And actually, this is a game to watch this weekend together with Liverpool, Manchester United. Um, I'm not confident. I'm leaning more towards a draw. Bayern losing at home, it doesn't happen a lot. So yeah, I'm leaning more towards a draw in this one.
Not bad. If you can take a double chance Stuttgart, still very high value if you take a double chance for Stuttgart. So not a bad play. All right, that wraps up the Bundesliga. Let's get to La Liga. And listen, guys, a lot of games in La Liga stink this week. So let's get to the first one. Osasuna hosting Rayo. Osasuna wins set at 2.33. Rayo wins set at 3.7. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. Now, I don't know why the total is that high. I'm not expecting a lot of goals here. Neither team is really in form. Rayo is slightly better, but going on the road, it's tough to back them. I'm staying away from this game. Are you doing something here, Sergio?
Also a stay away for me. Even the home team totally not impressed with. They haven't won in six. Um, Valcano just won in six. It's Friday. It looks like a 0-0 game for me.
So maybe a 1-1 draw. I'm expecting under 2.5 goals, so I don't think it will be a very interesting game. Just to stay away. All
Yeah.
right, let's get to the next game. Celta hosting Granada. Celta wins set at 1.62. Granada wins set at 5.8. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Also tough to trust either team here. I'm leaning towards Celta because they're at home, but that's about everything I have to back Celta. They are slightly better and they're at home. That's about all. Also not an interesting game. What are you doing, Sergio?
No, no. Also for me, not an interesting game. Yeah, not much to say. It's a stay away for me. Yeah, Celta maybe a 1-0 win, but no, it's a stay away for me. This game.
All right, let's get to the next game. At least the next one is interesting. Athletic Bilbao hosting Atletico Madrid. Bilbao wins set at 2.55. Atletico Madrid wins set at 2.9. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. I like the over here. Two evenly matched up teams, and Bilbao is just awesome, only losing to Real Madrid at home. I'm leaning towards Bilbao in the spot, but I like the over 2.5 goals. What are you doing here, Sergio?
Uh, I'm taking a big risk this weekend. I'm actually going for Atletico to win this one. Like you say, Bilbao very good at home, but still, if they're gonna lose one at home against a team, I think it should be Atletico Madrid. Yeah, no. For me, it's a Atletico win. Atletico is my fifth log of the weekend. Taking big risk here, I know, but I'm going for Atletico to win this one.
Yeah, it's a very big swing, and Athletic Bilbao has only lost to Barcelona, Real Sociedad, and Real Madrid. Three very good teams, and Atletico Madrid is kind of in the same boat. So you see Athletic Bilbao dominating against the teams lower than them in the standings, but have a tough time against the teams higher than them in the standings. So this might be another one of them. That's why I'd rather play the over 2.5 goals than back Bilbao in this spot. All right. Let's get to the next game. Sevilla hosting Getafe. Sevilla wins set at 1.92. Getafe wins set at 4.6. Line for total goals set at 2.5. And again, I don't get the total goals. I'm expecting the under here. Sevilla just can't score. Maybe if they get a penalty. But other than that, they have trouble creating chances and scoring goals. Since hiring the new coach, they have only won 2 games. And that both of them were in the Copa del Rey. Getafe yet to win on the road in the league. This is going to be a low-scoring affair, like I said. Getafe will defend, and Sevilla really struggles to create chances and score goals. What are you doing here, Sergio?
Yeah, Sophia, I really don't know what it is they want. They can't. I don't know. They can't perform even against teams that it should usually be an easy win for them. Sophia, totally no confident. I'm leaning towards a draw here. I don't know. I don't see them winning against Getafe. Getafe is in better form the last games, so no, I'm leaning towards a draw. Even maybe a Getafe win actually, but.
Yeah, a draw may be very likely, given Getafe is in better form. But like I said, Getafe, a very poor road team, so draw probably the most likely outcome. I just
Yeah,
think,
but Sevilla also they played during the week, against Lens.
yeah,
It was an away game. Also lost that one, so there's no confidence in that team. So yeah, but still maybe a draw.
I can't disagree with you there. All right, let's get to the next game. Valencia hosting Barcelona. Valencia wins set at 5.25. Barcelona wins set at 1.7. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now listen, Valencia obviously not great. 1 win in the last 5 overall, and that 1 win came in the Copa del Rey. But Barcelona lost to freaking Antwerpen in the Champions League. What the hell?
Yeah, it was Antwerp. I think they played their best game of the season actually, and I think Barcelona a little bit. I know. I think they underestimated Antwerp. I think they underestimated their motivation. I think Antwerp was. I think since the beginning of the Champions League season, they were looking towards this home game against Barcelona because it was the biggest game of the season. So the players were motivated. But still, Barcelona, of course, they lost against Girona also. Uh, but Valencia, I think that should be an easy one for them to wipe away
No,
the
no,
two
no
games in a
way,
row
no
loss.
way, no way. Maybe they win the game. Definitely not an easy win. If you want to defend the Antwerpen game based on maybe underestimating their opponent, how do you defend the Shakhtar loss? They even lost to Shakhtar Donetsk on the road. They drew against an Rayo Vallecano on the road. They drew against Granada on the road. They drew against Mallorca on the road. So Barcelona just a very, very different team on the road. I like Valencia in this spot. I think Valencia will be very much motivated. I just can't trust Barcelona on the road. Like I said, maybe they win. Won't be an easy one. You can book that one.
Yeah, maybe not an easy one, but yeah, losing against Valencia would I think it would steer something in the team. So mm, yeah, maybe not easy, but still a win for Barcelona.
It would definitely steer something, but like I said, the road performance, you just can't say. You just can't say. You can't say anything about it. Just very, very poor results, like I mentioned earlier. So I'm just leaning towards Valencia. Obviously not a best bet. It would be an upset. All right, let's get to the next game. Almeria hosting Mallorca. Almeria wins set at 2.75. Mallorca wins set at 2.75. So also pick them here. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Also expecting the under 2.5 goals here. Not like as I said earlier, a lot of games in La Liga stink this weekend. This is another one. I'm not expecting a lot of goals. Hard to trust either team here. Are you doing something here, Sergio?
No, maybe a correct score 1-1, but no, I'm staying away from this game. Totally not interesting. Really interesting odds, maybe, but that's about it. Almeria, Mallorca. a draw, definitely.
All right, let's get to the next game. Real Sociedad hosting Real Betis. Sociedad wins set at 1.75. Betis wins set at 5.2. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Sociedad continued their undefeated streak and they are playing very well. Betis was also playing well for a long stretch, but now just one win in the last five. Also lost in midweek against Rangers. Sociedad being at home, they should win this game. Sergio, what are you doing here?
Yeah, they played during the week against Inter, a draw, of course. It was an away game for them. I don't know if that would maybe cost them, but
But
uh,
they were already qualified, so it's not like it was a very hard fought game. They didn't really needed the win.
yeah, okay, yeah, so yeah, but either way, it's should be a Sociedad win. Not really confident, but it should be a win for Sociedad.
All right, next game, Las Palmas hosting Cadiz. Las Palmas wins set at 1.92. Cadiz wins set at 4.7. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. I'm also expecting the under 2.5 goals here. I'm leaning towards Las Palmas. I really like them here. Cadiz yet to win on the road in the league, while Las Palmas has lost one home game. Also, Las Palmas likes to dominate possession, but they don't score a lot. Neither does Cadiz, so that's why I think this will be a very low scoring game. But I'm leaning towards Las Palmas for a win. Are you doing something here, Sergio?
Yeah, I agree with you. Seeing the form Las Palmas have the last three games, I would definitely say Las Palmas for a win. So yeah, that's about it. Cadiz, yeah, not mostly draws. So yeah, Las Palmas at home. I think it's a win for them.
All right, let's get to the next game. Real Madrid hosting Villarreal. Real Madrid wins set at 1.33. Villarreal wins set at 9. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Both teams were involved in midweek action going on the road, but Real Madrid being at home, Villarreal shouldn't trouble them, I believe. What are you doing here, Sergio?
Yeah, an away game for Villarreal. Yeah, they won against Rennes.
Yeah, they won against Rennes.
Yeah, against Rennes. But of course, last weekend, disappointing loss at home for them against Sociedad. But Real Madrid away, also a difficult game for them. So um, I'm not betting this game. It should be a win for Real, and the odds are not that interesting. So.
All right, let's get to the next game. Girona hosting Alaves. Girona wins set at 1.56. Alaves wins set at 6.5. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, earlier I gave a pick, like I said, a two-team parlay. This is gonna be the second leg of that. Arsenal and Girona in a two-team parlay for both teams for a win. Uh, Last week we were leaning towards Girona. You said they would want to prove everybody wrong about being disrespected, and man, did they prove everybody wrong.
Yep, they did. Wouldn't agree more with you. Girona now against Alaves. This is a chance for them to stay at the top. So yeah, no, I don't see Alaves causing any trouble for Girona this weekend.
All right, that wraps up La Liga. Let's get to Serie A. Genoa hosting Juventus. Genoa wins set at 5. Juventus wins set at 1.9. Line for total goals set at 1.5. So they're not expecting a lot of goals. Neither am I. Juventus just the second best defense in the Serie A. Only one loss all season. And I don't understand why there's so much value in backing Juve. Genoa has pulled off some upsets. But like I said, they're facing the second best defense here in the league, and I think they will have a hard time getting on the score sheet. What are you doing here, Sergio?
Uh, it's a stay away for me. Also, Juventus, I don't trust them at all, and especially not on a Friday. So no, it's normal circumstances. Of course, Juventus should win this one, but no, it's a stay away for me.
All right. Next game, Lecce hosting Frosinone. Lecce wins set at 2.12. Frosinone wins set at 3.65. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Lecce, tough to say anything about either team. Now, Frosinone is a very good team, but usually they play good at home. On the road, they're kind of different. Are you doing something here, Sergio?
Um, I'm leaning towards Lecce in this one. I don't know why. It's you know, the last 4 games
All draws, all
were
draws.
were all draws. So it feels like the win is coming close. And against Frosinone, I think it's a good chance for them to do so. You know, so they can maybe take the 12th spot in the league. So yeah, I'm leaning more towards Lecce in this one.
Yeah, Frosinone still winless on the road in the league, and Lecce, like you said, four straight draws. But listen, some were impressive, some less. Like a draw against AC Milan, good result, but then a draw against Hellas Verona, kind of disappointing. Then a draw against Bologna, okay, good result. Then you draw against Empoli, disappointing again. So it's tough to say anything about Lecce, but uh,
Yeah,
if you're gonna do something, you Lecce is obviously the play here. Frosinone not very good on the road. All
no.
right, let's get to the next game. Napoli hosting Cagliari. Napoli wins set at 1.35. Cagliari wins set at 9. Line for the total goal set at 2.5. This is gonna be a second leg. Heerenveen and Napoli combine them for a win. Like I said, both teams to win. I'm gonna combine them in a two-team parlay. What are you doing here, Sergio?
Yeah, that's a good choice actually. Napoli should win this one. I even feel like it will be an easy one for them. But yeah, not a real interesting hunt. So stay away from me. Napoli win.
All right, let's get to the next game. Torino hosting Empoli. Torino wins set at 1.65. Empoli wins set at 5.6. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Not an interesting game here. Torino is slightly better and they're at home, but both teams struggle to score goals, averaging less than a goal a game here. So I'm staying away from this game. Are you doing something here, Sergio?
Yeah, I agree with you. Not really an interesting odd for Torino, and I don't see more than 2 goals being scored here. So also a stay away for me.
All right, next game, AC Milan hosting Monza. AC Milan wins set at 1.62. Monza wins set at 5.75. Line for Zolo set at 2.5. AC Milan is the better team here, but they're coming off a hard-fought win in the Champions League in midweek against Newcastle. And also, they've been inconsistent of late. Monza, usually a tricky opponent. So I'm staying away from this game. I'm expecting AC Milan to win, but like I said, Monza could maybe sneak out a draw here. What are you doing here, Sergio?
I'm looking at the over 2.5 here. You know, Monza. I can see them scoring a goal against Milan. I still think Milan will win this game. So a 2-1 is a possible here. So maybe over 2.5 at 1.8. It's a interesting one.
Yeah, not bad. Not a bad bet. Good value there. All right. Fiorentina hosting Verona. Fiorentina wins set at 1.47. Verona wins set at 7.5. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, another team that went on the road on a Thursday, Fiorentina. So they're the better team here. Verona, 3 straight draws where they've kind of played well. The most impressive one being against Lazio, but that was at home. Now they go on the road, so it's tough to back them. But I also have a hard time backing Fiorentina here. Are you doing something here, Sergio?
Yeah. Under 2.5 maybe for this one, maybe a 1-0 or maybe a 2-0 win. Yeah. Fiorentina the better team, I agree. uh, Not an interesting odd, but maybe the under 2.5 should be the way to go.
All right, let's get to the next game. Udinese hosting Sassuolo. Udinese wins set at 2.23. Sassuolo wins set at 3.2. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, another game where it's very tough to trust either team. Udinese still struggles to score goals, but I'm leaning towards them. given that Sassuolo is playing back-to-back road games on a short week and they played with 10 men for like 30 minutes or more. So that's why I'm leaning towards Udinese here. Are you doing something here, Sergio?
Yeah, Sassuolo 2 losses in a row. So yeah, I'm also leaning towards Udinese, just like Atletico Madrid. I'm really struggling here, but I also have Udinese as a bet this weekend. I'm going all the way this weekend. Udinese also, 4 games in a row without a win. Now at home against Sassuolo, I think it's a chance for them to to win and maybe get even in points with Sassuolo. So yeah, Udinese my sixth log of the weekend.
All right, let's get to the next game. Bologna hosting Roma. Bologna wins set at 2.5. Roma wins set at 3.3. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, listen, Bologna continues their good form, while Roma will be missing 2 key players who picked up a red card last week. One of them being, of course, Lukaku, a very, very key player. Also, Roma just 2 road league wins. And with those key players missing, Bologna should take advantage. I like Bologna in this spot. I'm backing Bologna for a win here. What are you doing, Sergio?
Yeah, Roma's in trouble, like you said. Lukaku is one of the key players, and usually away Roma is not that good. Also, so yeah, I'm leaning towards Bologna to win this one. It's a really interesting odd for Bologna. So yeah, I'm leaning towards Bologna to win this one.
All right, next game. Lazio hosting Inter. Lazio wins set at 5. Inter wins set at 1.74. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now Inter just on fire. It's very tough to fade Inter. And Lazio very inconsistent to say the least. Now Inter has 3 draws in the last 5 games, but they they almost don't lose. So it's tough to fade Inter. What are you doing here, Sergio?
Um, I'm not that confident. I'm actually leaning more towards towards last year with this one. This weekend, I feel like these teams are gonna get the points. Inter, not a loss in a long time. So yeah, no, I'm leaning more towards Lazio. I'm not betting this game, but I'm not confident that Inter will really win this game, or maybe not even an easy win for them. So
May not be an
maybe a
easy.
double chance for Lazio.
No, maybe a double chance for Inter. I have to disagree there. Listen, man, Inter has just the best defense in the Serie A. Only 7 goals allowed, while Lazio has scored 16 goals in 15 games, so just above 1 goal a game. I think they will have a hard time getting on the score sheet here. And listen, man, like I said, Inter 37 goals scored, 7 allowed. Inter is just very much on fire. I
So
can't
it's
wait.
over 2.5 then, maybe.
Then it should be the under 2.5. All right, we're in different we're in opposite directions in regarding this game. So listen, I like Inter, you like Lazio a little bit more. I just can't fade Inter. All right, let's get to the next game. Atalanta hosting Salernitana. Atalanta wins set at 1.33. Salernitana wins set at 9.5. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Listen, this is gonna be another game, and I'm gonna parlay with an Ajax. Ajax and Atalanta both for a win. That's gonna be one of my best bets for the weekend. Other than that, not an interesting game. Atalanta should win this game. Salernitana bad, and especially on the road. Are you doing something here, Sergio?
No, no, it's not interesting. It should be an easy Atalanta win for me, actually. So yeah, this is one of the stay away games for me. So no, Atalanta win.
All right, that wraps up Serie A, and that wraps up all picks and leans for the upcoming weekend. Quick recap for the best bets. I have Freiburg for a win, Dortmund for a win, Mainz for a win, Arsenal and Girona in a two-team parlay. West Ham for a win, Heerenveen and Napoli in a two-team parlay, and Ajax and Atalanta also in a two-team parlay. Who do you have, Sergio?
Yeah, a little bit very risky for me this weekend, but I have like Everton, West Ham, Wolfsburg, Dortmund, Atletico, and of course Udinese, the most difficult one. All for wins, so let's see what happens.
All right, and like we always say, guys, bet smart, bet with your head, set your limits, stay within your means. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Have a great weekend, everybody.